Stay tuned. The
Are you ready?
series is going to
Wake up your magic.
My name is Wanda.
Today I want to raise your awareness to who is influencing you, what is influencing you, how you're being influenced, and what is it that you are under the influence of. Now just listen to that for a minute. At every moment, in every time, there is something that is influencing us. Now it's either our higher connection of self, or it are these triggers on these emotions or these distortions that are coming in from past influences, right? So if we are looking to that side there, it is very, what's the word I want to use that will explain this influence? Either you're looking at where you've come from or you're trusting where you are. And influence is pretty much that. Saying that we're under the influence of Source and God and all of that, it's so distant to most of us that it comes into contact with our spirit and our knowing once you know. It takes a while, and it takes experience, and it takes your wisdoms, but it takes you uncovering more of who you are to get to the place where you get to that place where it's like, do you believe in God? Do you believe in the influence of God? Or do you just know that you are under the influence of God? Right? So let's talk about that gap. Let's talk about you waking up in the morning and being distorted by what happened yesterday, or what happened in a dream, or what's happening with your partner, or what's happening with your children, or what's happening around your social circles. Or most important sometimes, what's happening with your family circles, and if you're an immigrant or if you are concerned with humanity and what's happening around the world. How those influences can take you out of sync with yourself if you're not connected and aligned to serve your greatest influence, which is your higher power and Source and God, the benevolence of all, right? So let's break this down just a little bit for you, because if it's not important, we're not talking about it, right? So, who's influencing you? And how are you being influenced? Most important, of course, we get influenced by the way we are brought up. We're also influenced by our parents. We're also influenced by, our social settings. We are influenced by our social economics of education, of how you've been brought up at school and who's been educating you. You've got the influence of your friends, your loved ones. You've got the influence of so many different little things, the things you want. But how many times have you been influenced to go do something when it's not really at your core in alignment, or it just doesn't feel good, right? So understanding those gaps and understanding those pieces of segments are vitally important, because we can all ride a wave. If we get really focused, we can all learn how to surf. We can all learn how to ride a bike. We can all learn how to swim. But don't you know those days and those feelings when you just don't feel like riding that bike, or you don't feel like going for that swim, or you don't feel like doing something? That is the gap of influence I want to raise your awareness to. What is influencing you, and where is this influence coming from, so that you're able to maintain your posture, but also raise your innate awareness and vibrational alignment to your alignment and influence of Source, your higher good, your higher self. So let's just put this on this side very quickly. One, your higher self is your greatest influencer. God, your divine Source, the breath of the Holy Spirit, everything that comes from every divine light, everything that is present with you consciously, that is always there. However, how many times have you felt this distortion within you okay, this pull, okay, that no matter how good it is, you're just not feeling good. No matter how great it is, you're just not feeling great. No matter how fabulous everything is sounding, you're just not there. You're irritated, you're frustrated, you're triggered, you're annoyed, you are anxious, you're stressed out. That all is the aspect of those influences there that they have got you. They're influencing some aspect of your emotional self. It's pulling at you. So let's go back to one of the key aspects of what I love to share is always the influence of, your own rhythms, the influence of the moon, the power of your energy, the flow, your rhythms, your natural vibration, your frequency. Now, this is a language, of course, that I use, but this is a language that is there. This is how the universe actually communicates and translates itself, right? So, understanding influence and experiencing influence, that takes experience and a little bit of discernment. But what it really, really, really takes is understanding that you're always connected. And these are one of the things that, as you've gone through, my name is Vanda, and the series of these conversations is raising your awareness to, okay, who am I being? Why am I being like this? And why am I acting out? And what is influencing me? So you've heard me share with you, and you've heard me also point out, one, you're always connected. There is a crown chakra, there's a wheel of light that is always resonating, that lies to your core and keeps you in alignment and maintains its flow of life force energy and just flow, keeps you connected. That influence there, okay, is you being able to breathe in, understanding your power, understanding that your energy, understanding that you're a little bit more than you think you are. You're a thinker, you're a feeler, you're a doer, you're a dreamer, you're a creator. There is so much to you. You're beyond intelligence, right? So in this aspect of influence, I want to pinpoint a valuable nugget of wisdom that could probably change everything for you and realign you quicker to accelerate your path and maintain your flow to your own experiences, getting more into a fluid way where you're able to move away from those pulls and those influences that you are knowing that no longer fit with you. What you might have allowed in the past just no longer fits with your body, with your matrix, with your thoughts, with your well-being, with your peace. And you have to listen. So how do we go ahead and put ourselves in a space that we enhance our capacity to maintain a stream of incoming flow of vibrational attunement that keeps us in this alignment and this flow of this influence that serves us from this higher aspect of self that knows our higher good? How do we do that? Well, one, you absolutely know when you're feeling distorted, you're getting pulled by yesterday's actions, yesterday's thoughts, yesterday's feelings of not feeling valued, not feeling loved, not feeling appreciated, being pulled in like nobody's seeing who you are, being pulled where you're being judged by others and you're not being listened to, you're not being heard. There's so many things that will pull that way. Those pulls are those emotional pulls. That influence is that influence of the mind, of the bodies, of those distortions that literally take you out of sync with yourself. And if I have to tell you, then through all my years of doing the work that I've been shared to do with, I can tell you that how many times I've seen this gap. I have seen this distortion where people are tilted, okay, in a way that they're no longer aware. They're dealing with it as it is. They are are projecting and incorporating their angry selves, that innate aggression, or that sense of skepticism that's constantly a contradiction and a conflict, a constant resistance and fight for peace. Don't you know when you are peaceful? And don't you know when you're not? That right there, I could take days and days and days just us having full, sincere conversations of how simple life is and how complex we truly are. Because until you have that experience and until you have that understanding of your power of influence and who you are and how you are and where it comes from, you will always be giving up your energy to the dungeon, to the dragons, to the reptiles, to the bugs, to your own demons, to your own distortions, to your own stubbornness, to your own mind, to your own judgments, to your own, and it can carry on. And all it's going to do is pile up this energy that all it does is hook onto you, and it literally pulls you out of sync with yourself. And this is where you go, I'm captured, I'm trapped, I'm a victim. No, you're not. Breathe in and release that so that you're able to come into alignment. You have the strongest influence over yourself. There is no one that has power over you. It is only you that has the power over yourself. But when your lower self is dominant and it is loud and it is wanting to be heard, then you've got to listen, because it's like a child having a tantrum. Find a tool, find a space, find something of what can bring you into synchronicity, back to in alignment with yourself again. And this is why you'll hear me talking about tools for your soul, which is ironically a contradiction. Your soul doesn't need a tool. Okay, your soul needs you. So whatever modality you're using that can be able to bring you back into the influence of your higher self, into the rhythm of your higher self, into the vibration of your higher self, the more you can take from those pieces there and stay in tune, and the more you can see that those are reactions and those are distortions and those are aspects and experiences that give you opportunities for beautiful transformations. Did you see the butterfly? It is beautiful. I love being out here because the universe is so in alignment with all these conversations and supporting this beautiful work, this beautiful language that you are. Now just remember, language and the universal language is not words. It is vibration. So you have to listen to the pulse of your heart. You have to listen to the pulse of your body. You have to listen to the pulse of your thoughts. You have to listen to the pulse and vibration of your emotions. All these things are influencing you. What are you under the influence of? If your thoughts are not supporting you, then you have to pay attention, because that nasty thought has the focus and has the ability and has the vibrational frequency to trigger you enough to pull you out of sync with a nasty remark that sometimes you go, what on earth did I say that for? Why did I go there? Because you're full and you're in a vibrational influence of a distortion that needs to be cleansed, that needs to be brought back into alignment. So let's just go back to what I was talking about, understanding your tools. Your number one tool, which is so ignored. And now there are these pockets in education and awareness and this whole spiritual awakening of, you and your breath and breath classes, you and your meditation and meditation classes, you and your body awareness and meditation and body awareness classes. There's a class for everything. And it's not about your classes. It's about you having the power to connect with yourself. It takes one breath. to be able to sink you in. But it might take 10 or 9 or 3 or 6, how many breaths it takes to line you up. All you need is one moment of pure alignment, and your genius aspect of self, okay, that is your influence to your source, to your higher self, and to the benevolence of God and all of creation, comes in and sinks in, okay, with your own creator energy, right? So let's go back. When you are in the space of knowing, you know what, I'm being distorted by my thoughts, what is your best option? What is it that you can do? What are some of the tips? What are some of the valuable nuggets of wisdom that I could share with you? Now, everyone has a modality. Everybody has a tool. You've got to know, okay, what works for you. Because just because it works for somebody else, it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And I have to share this with you because all of my tools that I speak about and I've shared, I haven't shared them with the world. 1, they are my tools, they work for me. Okay, 2, I've shared them with my family. 3, I've shared them with my friends. And 4, I've shared them with my very, very close community. It might not work for you, but if it does work for you, it really, really works. Okay? And to this day, I haven't had it that it hasn't worked. Why? Because every aspect of yourself is from an aspect of a self aspect of yourself. Nothing is from an other aspect that is foreign to you. And even when something is of a foreign influence to you, it could only get to you if you're vibrating or you have an open doorway or a gateway or something is open that it's got to you. It means either you're not protected enough or you're not vibrating high enough or you are not in sync with yourself. If you're constantly feeding the dragons, well, then you're going to become the dragon. And if you're constantly feeding the snakes, then you're going to become a snake. And if you're constantly feeding the butterflies, then you're going to become a butterfly. Because it's your point of focus. It's that space and synchronicity of time that you give it. I always say, if you're going to have a tantrum in less than, in like 17 seconds, because the minute it goes to 18, okay, there's what I call the infinite loop of high, okay, which is bringing life to another cell, which is bringing life and renewed life. So our cells are always vibrating and rejuvenating, and either you are contributing to more of what was, or you're contributing more of what is. Now, who's influencing you, okay, when you have that constant game and rebalancing going with yourself? Either your lower aspect of yourself is influencing you the most, or your higher self, the one that knows, is influencing you. Now, here's the trick. You can't be both. It's time to choose who you want to have you be influenced by. And it's only you that can wake up in the morning and set up that intention with a frame of breath work to really go in and connect these dots until you get to that bridge of influencing matter and vibration and frequency so that you can share it with the world. So with that, you have to be responsible for how you're influencing yourself. And that takes a big person and a person that is awoken to how you're being influenced to take note and just pause a little bit. So today, I wrap this up with the influence of benevolence, choice,
You want to laugh
will,
again?
and responsibility.
You want to open up and
with
awaken
powerful,
your wisdom
powerful,
box
powerful
so that you
words
can manifest your dreams
for you to
in
step
this
into.
lifetime experience.
Okay?
Empathic. We are sensitive. We are intuitive. We are psychically attuned to this energy world that is awakening who we are. You're so much more than who you think you are.
And remind yourself that your higher self absolutely knows what you want.
You are the creator of your future
life.
holds for you what you have put into your future, what you're thinking, but most of all, what you're feeling. That is what is coming to you. That is how the universe talks. You are the creator of your life. We all are.
Are you ready?
My name is Vanahaha.